All right, all right. Gulliver does indeed. This is discussion on chapter 9. Gulliver does indeed leave um, the land of the necromancer king who was summoning all the dead people. Takes a ship to the port. They off they go. They land on Lugnag, where he is kind of nabbed by the customs, who's been told, "Oh, this is a great traveler." Uh, Gets orders from sends off for orders from the king. That takes a fortnight. He's kind of confined, but confined nicely. Gets taken to the king, um, and there we have you'll lick the ground. Be fortunate enough to lick the ground up to his footstool, which is not an expression. That is literally what he has to do. He has to lick his way up to the thing. Now, because he's in light of him being a foreigner, the floor is nicely, very polished, clean, which is usually only afforded to those of like great station. Sometimes Gulliver reports, indeed, they actually put extra dirt down on the floor that a lord will finally make his way up to the king, and his mouth will be so full of all the gunk he won't actually be able to talk. And of course, it is a capital offense to spit or wipe your mouth in the presence of the king. So there's that. And it's also, this is also a form of execution by this great lenient king, where they'll put down a strange brown substance, which when licked will kill the person within 24 hours, which is apparently the lenient way of killing someone in this land. And he says, and it's like, and they have to make sure you clean the floor afterwards. And indeed, one page was like, oh, I think they were gonna whip him because he neglected maliciously to actually give the orders for the floor to be cleaned. And a young lord of high promise, who the king hadn't had at that point wanted to kill, ended up expiring because there was still some of that left on the floor. But the king, being greatly lenient, forgave the page with a promise that he wouldn't do that again unless under special orders. Again, another kind of just like, oh, and Gulliver says, gee, it would be really nice if that the monarchs of Europe were as lenient as this fuckhead is. And so we already have that thing, and that where I guess it's going through two different interpreters, because he only knows Balnabarbi, but he's got an interpreter who knows Balnabarbi and the language of Lugnag, who translates his Balnabarbi into Lugnag to the king. So he gets to do questions. Now, he stayed for 3 months. Who wanted to favor him, gave him some offers, but I thought it more consistent with prudence and justice to pass the remainder of my days with my wife and family. So, he's off traveling. I mean, a part of it might be how lenient and merciful this king is, of like how long you'd survive, but there's always this thing of like, oh, I miss my family, and then he gets home, and then it's like, oh, I need to leave again. He is cursed with wanderlust, Gulliver. So, yeah, just another thing of like, boy, I wish our monarchs were as merciful as this guy, poisoning people by making them lick up to his footstool. And I mean, just licking up to his footstool is just like, okay, this is where he regards all his subjects beneath him, all of them, like from the nobles down. Licking the dirt up to my footstool. It's just really gross. All right, I'll leave it there. More videos later.